Okay, welcome. When you're ready, go ahead and find your way to your yoga mat. If you're not quite there yet, we will start laying down today. And I invite you to bring an extra cushion or something for underneath your knees and or underneath your head, just so you're extra comfortable here. If you are in your living room or somewhere where there's a chair or a couch, you could put your lower legs up on. That could be a really nice option as well. And keep adjusting until you feel as comfortable as you think you can for now. If your legs over the cushion is not a good option for you today, maybe stand your feet up near the edges of your mat and allow your knees to rest together at the center. Sometimes laying on your side can be a good option. Settling in. And without much more instruction for now, just start to do your own check-in with yourself. Checking in on any of the parts or emotions that you would like. Tending to anything that needs tending. And if you notice tension anywhere as you potentially scan your physical body, see if your awareness can allow the area to soften. As simple as that. Sometimes it works. Smoothing out your face and jaw. And any other places you know you carry tension. Invite in a deeper, fuller sense of breath. Try to find that sweet spot where you're breathing fully, but you're not forcing anything. You're not using any extra effort or too much effort. We're just right on that sweet spot, breathing in fully, breathing out fully as well. Drawing the air down to the very lowest parts of your lungs. Maybe you can even visualize breathing all the way down to the sacrum, the low back. And if you would like to consider setting an intention or dedication for your practice today, now would be a great time. And then we'll take 3 clearing breaths together in through the nose. And a sigh to let go. 2 more like that. Find your way back to a steady and natural rhythm of breath. Start to bring in some little movements, maybe wiggling fingers and toes or letting your head rock side to side. anything else that comes along. We'll head into a long body stretch, option to keep whatever's under your knees there or remove it. And in our long body stretch today, let's make sure to rotate the ankles and wrists both directions at some point, bending and flexing. Love to our joints. All right. We will remove anything under the knees. If you have a yoga block or a stack, you could use like a bolster or something like that as well. Keep that close by or kind of rally it so you can grab it in a little bit. We'll stand the feet up here about hip width distance apart. We'll grab that block and place it between the knees just for a little stability there through the legs. Pressing the hands down into the edges of your mat. With your inhale, press your way up, reaching high with those hip bones. And then exhale to lower back down. Maybe close your eyes here if that helps you feel this action of inhaling and lifting. And exhaling and lowering. Go ahead and do this a few more times at your own pace and try to be as present as possible with your movements, with your muscles. I'm going to go ahead and rest the sacrum, the pelvis down on the mat. You can keep your block between your knees for now. Let's pick up the toes and kind of stand your feet up on your heels. So we're pulling the toes back. See what it feels like. So you're strengthening and stretching happening somewhere you can discern. And then we'll do the opposite movement, placing the ball of the foot down and then lifting up the heels. Again, can you tell which parts of your body are working, strengthening, which parts maybe possibly could be stretching? You don't have to know the names. Just get a felt sense. Just go ahead and do that a couple times, bringing the heels down and the rest of the foot up. Just rocking back and forth like that a couple of times, seeing how that goes, adding on any other little movements, like a little windshield wiper movement with my heels down, kind of feels nice. And then rest your feet. We'll grab that block from between the knees, pick up your hips just enough to slide that block underneath the sacrum. If that feels like too much pressure or you have a hard block and it doesn't feel good right there, you can cover your block in a blanket or pillow or just use like a stack of pillows or blocks. We will start to bring both knees in toward the chest, and as you go, you might realize you want to recenter yourself on that block. So go ahead and do that anytime. Knees coming in toward the chest. Let's straighten or almost straighten that right leg, more or less straight up. Hold on to that left knee here. And then point your right toes and slowly lower the right leg down as much as you can without feeling too much stretch happening there, just that sweet spot amount. And then lift your right leg back up. So we're holding onto the left knee or shin for stability. And then we're lifting and lowering that right leg, strengthening and stretching through the hip flexors on the right hip. As always, you can have your knee a little bit more bent here, especially if you feel that your hip flexors are very tight, but for any reason. Go ahead and do that a couple more times. And then we'll switch. So bringing the right knee in, let your left leg go high. And then holding that right knee in for stability, point your left toes and slowly start to lower that left leg, keeping it straight-ish as you go, maybe hanging out there at the sweet spot for a moment or two, and eventually moving your leg back up. Strengthening and stretching is a great combination. And really what you have to be doing if you're trying to become more flexible is not just about stretching. You definitely want to strengthen too. It's kind of a common misperception. All right, that internal perspective again, maybe keeping your eyes closed as much or as little of class today as you'd like, just so you can get more of an internal look at what's going on. Can you feel that hip flexor? Even if you don't know the anatomy going on there, can you kind of suss out what's happening? And then bring that left knee in. We'll straighten both legs at the same time. We'll just go out to the sides now. So just opening up to a V and then back together, moving nice and slow. Oh, I felt some interesting kind of like wobbling sensation, bringing my legs back up. What do you notice? Try not to judge anything, just continuing to be curious and kind. This is great for our circulation. All right, when you're ready, bend your knees, bring your feet down to the floor. If you need to readjust where that block is beneath you, you certainly can. If it's getting too hard, you can come off of it here. Otherwise, we're gonna start to stretch or lengthen out one leg and then the other, so that we can kind of rest in this open position with the hip flexors. Maybe your arms can come out wide if you'd like. You might point and flex through the ankles a couple times, or maybe find that windshield wiper motion through the legs. And making sure to have a little bit of stillness too, if that suits you. Breathing low and slow. Continuing to return to the internal perspective, how things are going from the inside out. And when you're ready, let's bend the knees back in, pick up the hips and slide that block out from underneath you. Set everything back down and hug your knees in toward your chest just enough so you can kind of target the area that the block was under. And give that area a little bit of massaging pressure by circling the knees or rocking a little bit. Smoothing everything back out there. All right, bringing feet back down. We'll come up to a seat next, maybe rocking and rolling a couple times up and down your spine or pressing your way up. Let's find a comfortable seat, maybe sitting up on something, a prop or blocks. Finding an easy seat, whatever you feel is an easy seat for you. You can always head to a chair or a couch. We'll send the fingertips off to the sides and sit up nice and tall. Lengthening your spine from the tailbone all the way up through the crown of your head with a very slight, like half tuck of your chin, so the back of your neck feels nice and long. It's called Jalandhara Bandha or chin lock. It's one of our energetic locks, one of the bandhas. Breathing full and deep here. And then with an inhale, let's flip the palms and reach the hands up overhead. joining at the top for just a moment. Exhale, cactus the arms, open the heart, looking up if that feels okay. Inhale, hands come high. Exhale, lower hands to heart center. A little tuck of your chin here, even farther. Inhale, hands go high. Exhale, circle your hands around and down, coming back to the floor. Let's do that again. Inhale, rising up, looking up if it suits you. Exhale, cactus the arms, little baby back bend. Inhale, lift the hands. And exhale, back to heart center, tucking your chin down toward the center of your chest. Let's just pause here. You can keep your hands at heart center or let them come down to your knees or thighs. Rock your right ear toward your right shoulder. Relax both shoulders down and away. And then focus your awareness on the left side that's all open. You could kind of shrug that left shoulder or kind of push it forward and back or in circles as you explore through this side. And then eventually let your chin come back down toward the center of your chest and right on over to the other side, left ear reaching toward the left shoulder. Relaxing both shoulders down and away. Being gentle here, maybe circling or moving your right shoulder in a way that feels interesting. And then let your chin come back down toward the center of your chest. With an inhale, gazing up, lifting the chin up toward the sky. Exhale back to neutral, straight ahead. Inhale, look to the left. We're just moving the neck. Exhale to the right. Inhale left. Exhale right. One more time like that. Inhale to the left. Exhale to the right. So we're going to take some neck circles without bringing the head back behind you. More of like a circle in this plane. So it'll be like you're drawing a circle with your nose here. So the back of your neck stays long and we don't let the head fall back behind us. So just go ahead and start as if you're drawing a big circle with your nose. Exploring the edges of stretch and comfort, if you wish. And then switching directions, circling the other way. And in your own time, make your way back to neutral. Maybe close your eyes for a few moments if you feel dizzy at all. Take a hands to heart center if they're not there right now. Today's class, we're going to open here with one round of Om. Somewhere in the middle of class, we'll do another, and then we'll close class with a third round of Om. And so if you would like to join me in that, you can hum or chant or listen along. We'll take a breath in to prepare and then Om on the way out. So when you're ready, breathing in. Om. Clearing breath when you're done, in through your nose. Sigh it out. Committing to that internal perspective once again, just notice what's going on. Remember your intention today. And let your hands come down. Straighten your legs out here and just give them a good stretch or wiggle. If you're sitting up on something, just make sure your knees don't hyperextend. A little tap And then we're going to transition to crocodile pose next. So coming up off of your seat, turning to your belly, and then laying down. So the legs are straight, stacking your hands, fists, or forearms underneath your forehead, and then resting your head on top. Let your feet decide and your legs decide what's a comfortable position for them today. I like heels splaying out to the sides, but that's not the only option. As you breathe, see if you can get a sense of creating length through the entirety of your spine. Almost like you're breathing in some space between each of your vertebrae. All right, let's bring our hands to either side of the chest. Press down through the tops of your feet. Let's rise up to baby cobra, but just go about halfway. Don't try too hard, just halfway for now. And then exhale, lower. Inhale, baby cobra, halfway. Exhale, lower. One more time like that, halfway, just seeing how it feels to just go that far. Stay here at halfway if you can for your exhale. Inhale, rise up a little more. And then exhale, lower. Inhale, press your way up to tabletop. And then exhale, make your way to child's pose. You can have your knees out wide toward the edges of your mat and big toes touching. Any other variation is welcome. Make sure there's enough space there between the thighs so that the rest of your body feels comfortable. Taking a few breaths now to the upper back. And then back down to the sacrum and the pelvic bowl. See what that's like. Spaciousness. And then rise on up to tabletop. Let's find our first downward facing dog. Of course, grabbing your blocks if you like to use them. Bringing your hands onto those blocks. Curl your toes under. Lift your way on up. Downward dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Find your breath here first, and then maybe pedal out your legs, bending and straightening opposite knees. Reach through the shoulders, bringing your shoulders and your biceps a little closer alongside your ears. You can continue to explore like that, or join me in a little flow with your inhale. Roll forward to your high plank, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, bend your knees a lot and send your tailbone straight back. Inhale, downward dog, knees straighten. Exhale here, downward dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, bend your knees, send the tailbone back. Inhale, downward dog. And then exhale here. Start to walk your hands to the back of your mat so you end up in a forward fold at the back. You toe heel your feet out a little wider if that feels good. And enjoy some ragdoll time here, letting the upper body be nice and loose. Maybe swaying a little bit here. With the legs a little farther apart, you can kind of get this figure 8 motion going, bending one knee and then the other. Follow your own body's lead. Make sure to nod your head yes and shake your head no. Working with gravity to Stretch out and loosen up your neck. Let's find our way to a little squat. Grabbing something to sit on if you prefer that way. Let's bring our hands on up to the knees. Toe heel your feet out a little bit. I like to have my toes off of the mat and the heels on the mat. You can stay up tall here if you like, working on a little bit of stretching there, or you can start to lower down, maybe finding your little seat. Let's puff the chest up here and press the elbows into the inside of the knees. So you can kind of bring your shoulder blades a little bit more together and down the back. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. If that wasn't enough time for you, feel free to stay. Otherwise, let's make our way back up to just straight legs here, and then go ahead and rise in your own way, going slow, walking your hands up your legs for support. When you get to the top, let's just have an intuitive shakeout like we do, maybe lifting and lowering the shoulders a little bit, or doing some heel drops, lifting and lowering the heels, the thud a little bit at the bottom, not too hard. Get motion going wherever it's going for you today. You can make some sounds or do some jumps. All right. When you've had enough, let's come to the back of the mat. We'll start with a little bit of balancing to get to the front of the mat here. But first, take a look at your feet. Pick up all your toes and spread them out, and then set them back down. You can bring your hands out by your sides, flipping the palms to the front of your mat. With an inhale, let's start to rise up to the tippy toes, lifting the heels. And then exhale to lower back down. Inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. 2 more like that, except if you want to add on the lift of your arms, you sure can. Inhale, everything lifts. Exhale, everything lowers. 1 more time, inhaling to lift high. And then see if you can exhale, stay lifted on your toes. Just lower your arms. So our balancing today is going to be staying on our tippy toes and taking some little steps to get to the top of the mat. And this is supposed to be kind of fun, so try not to be too hard on yourselves. Just taking little baby steps to get to the top of the mat. Hands can be anywhere they need for support. Then when you get to the top, let your heels lower down. If you didn't take some heel drops before, just lift and lower your heels a couple of times. And let your legs just recoup from that. All right, so we're up at the top of the mat now. Let's start to flow through our sun salutation variations. With an inhale, hands go high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bring your hands to the floor or block. Step just your right foot back and lower your right knee down to the mat. Inhale, rise on up, hands up overhead. Interlace your fingers at the top with a steeple grip, pointer finger and thumb out. Exhale, take a little side bend to the left, kind of like kitty corner. So like left and back slightly, feeling that whole right side of the body lengthening. We are definitely still balancing a little too. Maybe you can feel that. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, side bend to the right. Take a few breaths. With an inhale, rise back to center. Exhale, bring your hands down to the blocks. Right toe curls under, pick up your right knee and do what you can to step your left foot back to three-legged down dog. So getting a little momentum, maybe pushing off and reaching the left heel high. Take a look at your left foot behind you and see if your toes can face the floor so that your hip is in our neutral position. Press through your hands just a little bit more and then point your toes at the top. Exhale, step just the left foot forward. Breathe like normal here. Left foot or left knee bends. Start to rise up to warrior one. So the arms lift high. Ooh. And the right heel finds the floor, but the right toes are a little bit more facing toward the top corner of the mat. Our hips are square to the top edge of your mat. You might have to shorten your stance a little bit here. So arms reaching high. And exhale, warrior two, lengthening out your stance. Right foot about parallel to the back of the mat now. Inhale, flip your palms, reach them high as you straighten that left leg. And then exhale, warrior two, bending back into the left knee, reaching wide. Inhale, flip the palms, reach high, straighten the legs. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior, left arm reaches high, right arm stays. And exhale, extended side angle. The left elbow supported with your left thigh, right hand reaching up and overhead. Breathe, lean on your breath here. Press into that left forearm or elbow so that the left shoulder is working. With an inhale, reach the right hand up and overhead toward the top of the mat. And then exhale, rainbow that right hand back and just see if you can touch kind of like the sacrum or the backside of your body. Inhale, right hand, I want to say sun shining up and overhead. And then exhale, sun setting, if you will, bringing that hand back and around. One last time like that. Inhale, sunrise. Exhale, sunset. I like that. All right. Bring both hands down to your blocks. Turn on your right toe, pivot on your right foot so that you're facing the top of the mat, and then step to the top. Forward fold at the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice straight spine. Exhale, fold, bending your knees a little more at the bottom. Inhale, rise all the way up, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a few moments here in your sacred space. What would it be like if you lived your life through the heart center, the seat of compassion and love? We'll take a clearing breath in through the nose, sigh through the mouth. Inhale, hands go high. This time with an exhale, let's open arm twist toward the right. Inhale, back up to center, hands lift. Exhale, open arm twist to the left. One more time on each side. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, finding length. Exhale, bring hands down to the block. Step just the left foot back. Lower your left knee down. When you're ready, with an inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, oh, steeple grip here, and then exhale, a little side bend toward the right. Stay here for a breath in and out. Inhale, come up to center. Exhale, bending toward the left. Big breath in and out. One last breath here, in and out, releasing your hands down to the blocks or the floor. Curl your left toes under, pick up that left knee, and see about making your way to three-legged down dog with that right leg lifting behind you. Keep breathing deep here as you take a peek at the right toes. We'll turn the legs so the toes are facing straight down toward the floor. Big breath in and out. One last breath in. Exhale, step just that right foot forward and give it some help if it doesn't quite make it to the top. Step, take like half a step forward with that left foot. And with an inhale, warrior one, lifting high. Hips again square to the top edge of your mat. And exhale, warrior two, widening the stance. Make sure you're not leaning too far forward or too far back. See about having your shoulders right about over your hips. Press into the pinky edge side of that right foot, but making contact with all edges of the right foot. Inhale, flip your palms, straighten the legs, reach high. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach high and straighten. Exhale, warrior two. One last time, inhale, lift. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Left hand slides down the left leg, right hand high. Exhale here. One more big breath in. And exhale, extended side angle. Bending that right knee, rest your right forearm or elbow on your knee. Start to open the chest up toward the side wall as you lift your left hand high. We'll find that little sunrise, sunset vibe here. So when you're ready, take a big breath in and reach up and overhead for the top of your mat. Exhale, our little sunrise, hand sweeping back and around, maybe curling up behind your low back. Inhale, sunrise, hand reaches up and over. Exhale, sunset. One last time, inhale, sunrise. Exhale, sunset. All right, release the hands down to the blocks at the top of your mat. Pivot on your left toes so you're pointing at the top of the mat with your feet, and then step to the top. Forward fold at the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, upward salute. Exhale, hands come down to heart center, samastitihi. Cultivating your inner peace, your inner knowing, your sacred space. Noticing how things are. Let's take a clearing breath together and then a round of Om. So inhaling through your nose, sigh it out. Inhale to prepare for our Om. Om. When you're ready, opening your eyes. Let's come right down to the floor here. Straighten the legs out at the bottom. Give them a little shake or wiggle. We'll find our seated balancing pose, our cosmic egg. So bending your knees here a little bit. You can hold on to your shins or thighs or wherever you can grab hold comfortably. Lengthen the spine, straightening it a bit, puffing the chest up. Lean back a little bit so you can start to lift one foot and then maybe the other, balancing there right behind the sitting bones. You're welcome to stay right here and stay still. Or maybe if it feels a little too easy for you today, lucky you, maybe you destabilize yourself a little bit on purpose, maybe rocking a little bit, moving and then finding stillness as quickly as you can, or maybe you let go of the arms or play it another way. When you've had enough, see if you can take one more breath. And then eventually, as slow or fast as you'd like, make your way down to your back. You can go through like a boat pose, core strengthener, maybe heading back up for a second round if you want. And then eventually finding your way all the way down. Let your body rest when you get to the floor. Maybe a little sigh. This is a good entry point for Shavasana or final rest if you would like to do that a little extra long today. Otherwise, let's find one last twist together. So we'll bend our knees. Let's do our eagle leg twist today. So we'll pick up that left leg, cross it over the right leg like you're sitting in a chair, thigh to thigh, knee to knee. Scoot your hips over toward the left edge of your mat and allow your knees to very gently twist to the right. Grabbing any props you want or need so that your twist feels supported and safe. I like a little something underneath the knees. And we'll start with the gaze toward the same side that your knees are facing, so toward the right. Closing your eyes if that helps you tune inward. And then we're slowly gonna lift the gaze up to center and then over to the left and see if you can find what you would consider to be the sweet spot here along this arc. Is there a spot where you feel especially comfortable, challenged, or whatever it is you're trying to feel? You can pause there if you'd like. Start to think about switching sides, coming back up, maybe straightening both legs for a moment before heading to the other side. And preemptively bringing my props to the other side. Then when you're ready, we'll bring the right leg up and over the left. Scoot the hips over toward the left or the right edge of your mat, and then allow your knees to start gently twisting to the left. And the reason we do that scoot toward the edge is so that the spine ends up kind of straight in a line up and down when you twist. So it's kind of intricate to notice that if you're not seeing yourself do it, but maybe knowing the intention could help. So again, finding the internal perspective and letting your gaze drift from the right side up and over to the left side, turning your head along with it. You could keep exploring this movement or find and rest in that sweet spot. Noticing how your breath interacts with this pose. As soon as you're ready, make your way back up to center. If there are any last poses, movements, stretches, chants, or beyond that you want to do before final rest, go ahead. Maybe a nice long body stretch or a happy baby or a couple of push-ups if that's your style, whatever you're feeling. And then consider what you'd like to do for your final rest today. Could be similar to how you started, with something under your knees, or maybe your lower legs up on a couch or chair. Maybe you bring your legs up a wall, constructive rest pose, or classic shavasana. Make your way to comfort. There's nothing like it for me than doing a sigh with like a little for some reason that just really melts me. Try it on for size if you'd like, or find your own way. And noticing the points of contact between the floor and your body. Imagining that as you relax more, you increase the amount of your body that's touching the floor. You're just kind of relaxing into it, like you're sinking into a waterbed or a nice warm bit of sand. Finding some kind of comforting visual if you'd like. It can be a helpful practice sometimes to cultivate a happy place, a comforting place, a calming place, a safe place in your mind. So taking the next few minutes here, create that special space for you in your mind. If you're a visual person, maybe you visualize the details, the textures, the fabrics, the colors, or maybe even the smells, sounds, tastes. If you're less of a visualizer, maybe you create a special blend of emotions that you wish to have. This is a really good like fake it till you make it kind of exercise if you're going for the feelings. So pretend that you're feeling peaceful or calm, like you're an actor hired at top dollar to do a great job acting as if you're happy or loving or calm. And let your body feel that felt sense. Soften your face, your tongue, your jaw. What does it feel like in your happy place, your calm place? It doesn't have to be happy. It can just be supportive. A place where you don't judge your feelings or emotions. Just a place to recover and feel safe and connect. softer yet. You are free to return back to this comforting inner space anytime you wish. Remain here as long as you need, as long as you want. If you do feel ready to move along, bring a little tiny bit of movement back into your body in any which way. Maybe wiggling fingers and toes or ankles and wrists. Continuing to move and awaken in your own way. Make your way onto either side, finding the fetal position, and taking one full round of breath on your side, honoring this moment of transition. And whenever the end of your breath, end of that exhale comes, let's start to push up to a comfortable seat, grabbing anything you need to sit on if you like. Joining hands at heart center, maybe closing your eyes once more if that feels good. Internal perspective. This time when we recite or chant our final Om, imagine that it's coming from the heart center somehow. So let's take a breath in to prepare for our closing Om. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May we have peace in our actions, peace in our words, peace in our thoughts. Bringing thumbs up to third eye center now. Let's seal our class with a little bow forward. And thanks to all of the teachers and lineages stemming back from India, where yoga was born. Let's take that fold forward now, a little bow, peace, and thanks. Thank you so much for being part of class today. If you created a comfortable, happy, safe space in your mind and you feel like sharing anything about that, I would love to know. Otherwise, I hope to see you again next week. Take care.